Well, welcome everyone. It is, I was going to say Friday. It's not Friday yet. It is Wednesday evening. We are here at a special time because I have an amazing guest tonight, and she's in Texas, and we changed the time just a little bit for the Real Wellness Live podcast. So I'm so excited to introduce my guest, Amberly. Hello.
Hello.
Yay. Let
So
me tell.
happy to be here.
Yeah, yes, I am so excited to have you. And as you know, this is live, so anything can go down. Last week it was mortifying. Luckily, it was one of my friends, but my dog was going crazy during it. But my husband's keeping an eye on the dog, so hopefully we will not have any interruptions. Okay, so let us know if you're joining us. Say hi to Amberly. You do not want to miss this. Stay tuned. We are here for about 25 minutes. Her story is one that you will just be blown away by. You'll be blown away by her heart, her resilience, and I'm going to read her bio so you know a little bit more about her. But first, let me tell you how I met Amberly. I was at Billy Cox's event last July. It was last July, a year ago, actually, we met. And she was one of the keynote speakers, and she's backstage doing push ups. And I met her backstage, and I was like, who is this lady? I need to know who she is. And since then, I have joined her mastermind group of amazing women throughout the country. And she is just a phenomenal woman. So let me go ahead and just share a little of her bio. She's an internationally renowned speaker on grit, resilience, and human connection, inspiring others to find strength and joy through life's challenges. She has captivated audiences of global corporations like Lululemon, Google, Athleta, Herbalife, and her TEDx talk has garnered thousands, hundreds of thousands of views worldwide. She's a USA Today bestselling author of Joy Through the Journey. Definitely get that book. And she is just a highly sought after speaker, and she's in the top 1% of her own podcast. So I am just so excited to have Amberly here tonight with us. So hello again.
Thank you for having me, Jessica. And I love your show and I love how you keep it real. And when I met you, it was instant connection. Christina Simmons was there at the event too. And she was like, oh, girl, you got to join her mastermind. Then I'm not sure if you saw Christina's post today. Did you see where she was twerking on top of a
Oh,
mountaintop?
I just did see that. Yes.
So I said, yes, this is what we really do in the mastermind. But it's coming together and it's incorporating some play and some fun in life, but not just all hard work. It's like you got to have some fun and make sure you're filling your cup up too. And so I love that you share so much of that message. And I think that's one reason we really deeply connected is because we are on the same page about a lot of things about taking care of our self physically, mentally, spiritually, and so much about soul care too.
Yes, all of that. And I would just brought me to you was I've been in a lot of leadership spaces. You don't see many women who just connecting are down to earth and want to have conversations kind of behind the scenes. And I was just like really impressed by that and just again felt very connected to who you are and really what you represent, the real woman who has been through so much in life and yet you continue to get up day after day and inspire so many. So I'm just so blessed to have you in my life. And so is everyone once they hear your story. So Amberly, I know your story. I've got to hear it many times, but for the audience who's joining, share a little bit about kind of what the turning point, maybe a little before what you were doing, and then the turning point where everything in your life just totally changed in an instant.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a kind of a Cliff Notes version. It's a pretty crazy story that, my whole life I was in the dance industry, a professional dancer for years, doing infomercials and music videos. In fact, my very first music video, I was a backup dancer for MC Hammer. Can't
I
touch
need to
this.
see that video.
Well, I looked totally different. Before I had gray hair and went blonde, I had dark curly hair. But I was like, I've made it. I mean, I thought I get to dance and get paid to do what I love. And so that led me into doing personal fitness. I was doing fitness videos, more infomercials, Body by Jake. And so I had a career in fitness for 26 years and employed several other trainers. And I thought life is good. And everything changed so quickly. I mean, I was coming home from work. I was on my Harley when I got T-boned by an SUV. And, I was thrown 30 feet, sliding across the asphalt. And when I finally came down, I stopped and I only looked down at my leg once because it was just crumbled into pieces and there was so much blood. And I didn't know it at the time, but it's because my femoral artery was actually severed. And it's crazy. I looked down at my leg, and one of the first thoughts I had was, well, this can't be good. I might have to train clients on crutches for a while. Like I was already thinking of, okay, how am I going to keep the business going, keep a roof over our head, and what am I going to do next? And I had no idea how it was going to completely change the rest of my life. And so I got rushed to the hospital and they had to put me in induced coma because I had lost so much blood that my vital organs were shutting down and they couldn't control the pain. And when I woke up from a coma, which seemed like I had just closed my eyes, it didn't realize it was over a week. The first thing I learned was they said, we're so sorry. This is like a war wound. There's nothing we can do for your leg. We need to amputate it. You only have a 1% chance of saving it. And in that moment, my leg was like, it was my livelihood. It was, back then I didn't have social media. I didn't have a newsletter email list. I had a website, but everything was word of mouth and I was like a walking billboard for my business. And I know that sounds kind of shallow, but being in the dance world and in the fitness industry, that was my business. That was my identity back then. And I thought, well, you're saying there's a chance. I've got a chance. And they're like, what? I'm like, well, you said there's a 1% chance. We need to find a doctor who's willing to take that chance. And let me tell you, it took an act of God, a lot of prayers, a lot of calling in favors. I got transferred to a different hospital and surgery by surgery, Dr. Wiss, my favorite doctor, piece by piece put my leg back together. And it took 34 surgeries in total. And that was really the beginning. I think the hard part was as a result of the accident, I was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome, which is a nerve disease dubbed the suicide disease because you're in constant chronic pain. There's no cure. And so still to this day, I live with constant chronic pain and so much of it, my pain, I don't even like to say my pain, the pain has been my biggest teacher. And it is when I thought, this may have been the cards I've been dealt and told I was going to be in a wheelchair forever and never work again and $2.9 million worth of medical expenses, but I'm going to play the heck out of these cards. And so through it, I've learned about grit. I've learned about the importance of connection, having faith for the little steps every day to get to the bigger dreams and goals. And my intention is just to share everything I've learned along the way so people don't have to make the same mistakes that I've made. And also know that if you fail or you fall or mess up, that you can turn shame to grace. You can turn can'ts to cans and you can rise up again and again and again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just, you're so amazing. And I know there's so many people that can relate to your story, maybe not to the degree, but to the fact that something unfortunate or horrible has happened, but you have a choice on how you move forward. And you chose to have grit and resilience. And I know that's another reason I'm drawn to you. But would you say grit and resilience is like inbred in you, or is that something you can truly learn through life experiences? Like, what do you think when you look at some people and you're like you just know that there's so much more for them, but they just can't pick themselves up. And then there's other people like yourself that just go and push. Like, what do you think the difference is? And can you learn that?
I think you can learn it. And I think it's, to me, it's amazing how you can have even, my two children are so different from each other. My brother and I are so different. We same parents, raised the same way, totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when we go through hard times, it is an opportunity to develop that resilience and that grit. I think that we can't rely on motivation. That's fleeting. Happiness is fleeting. But when we decide, and it takes a decision, making a decision, and then a commitment to that, and just trying. My motto is like I'm like one day at a time. Keep it simple and one day at a time.
Yeah.
And I really live by that. It's what, by the grace of God, I got sober. Today is actually my fifth sober birthday. And
Yay. And I was going to bring that up. So thank you. 5 years
thank
sober.
you.
Incredible, considering all that you've been through and how easy it would be to self-medicate. And I'm sure that was a big part of like the healing journey for you.
Yeah. And, here I thought I was always a girl I had grit. I was an athlete, a professional dancer. And I thought, well, I just have to push through the pain. I can grit it out. I wasn't good at a lot of things, but I was good at the grit. And I learned the hard way that it's not just about the grit. It really takes that connection, and that's the opposite of addiction. This is not my first rodeo. I had 5.5 years of sobriety and slipped for one day, and it's because I let so many things slide. I started to let my daily prayer slip, my gratitude practice slip, my workouts go one day, 2 day, missed a whole week, stopped going to recovery meetings. I stopped getting on my knees to pray. And lo and behold, just like that, I went out. And because instead of reaching out for help, I tried to just numb out. And that's the thing. And I used to have a lot of shame. I mean, I didn't tell anybody I got sober for, I think I told closest people to my family like 6 months. I didn't tell anybody or, of course, announce it on social media until I had a friend that announced it for me.
Mhm.
And
You're like, thanks.
thanks. I guess the
That
cat's
friend
out of
was
the bag.
very
Guess what?
proud.
I'm sober. But you know what? It was okay because I don't do that to anyone else. I respect their anonymity. That's why it's called, anonymous. But
Hmm.
it was like, wow, yeah, I am sober. And once you own your story, nobody can use it against you. Yeah,
So
I
true.
messed up. I really screwed up. I posted a picture of myself on Instagram today. I just happened to find, I don't have that many pictures when I wasn't sober because I was so lonely. I was so isolated. And I certainly didn't want anybody to take a picture of me. And I found a picture. I was 25 pounds heavier, but I think there's a gift in desperation. I think that the years of hardship that I went through did develop the grit, but when that only gets you so far. My rock bottom was in complete isolation, and when I was in that desperate place and decided I need help, it took so much courage. It was scarier than any surgery I ever went through, was deciding to get help, and it changed my life. So doesn't matter, like, there's a lot of people that are probably like, well, I don't have an addiction, or I think we're all addicted to something, whether it's scrolling, food, Netflix, something there, but whatever you're going through, whatever pain, whatever hardship, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whether it's in your relationship or with your child, whatever it may be, that there are ways to get through that adversity. And I think it starts with getting radically honest with yourself. Deep
Yeah.
down, if something's working for you or if it's working against you. That was hard for me. I didn't want to admit that I had a problem. Like, I had so much shame, as I'm sure you could relate being in the fitness industry.
Hmm.
How could a good girl like me that was never a party, I had this successful career in the fitness industry, slip and become an alcoholic? I had so much shame about that. But we heal what we reveal.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. That's so good. And I think so many people do suffer in silence because they are ashamed. And I think, like you said, just reaching out and saying, I need help is the first step to truly changing your life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It is transformational. And when you know you're not alone, and when you can talk to somebody and like, oh, I get it. Me too. I've been there. And
mhm.
they're a few steps ahead of you. It gives you hope.
Yes.
So even if you're an entrepreneur, man, sometimes it can get pretty lonely as an entrepreneur. And there have been times where I'm not kidding you, just today I was in and I was like, oh, I didn't realize I was talking to myself. And my husband was like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, this back end technology stuff, it's so hard. But when you can, first of all, figure out how to do it, have the grit to take those little steps every single day, have that faith to keep going through the opposition, through when you just want to give up, the faith to keep going, you will reach your breakthrough.
Yep. Absolutely. It's not giving up, it's pushing
Yeah.
forward. That was my question. Like, how do you find hope? And you just said it, like watching someone else do it and know that it's possible. Like anything's possible if you just show up.
Oh, yes. I think that when you look at somebody, and this could be somebody that's on stage, it could be somebody that is on Instagram, instead of looking at them and be like, wow, I mean, I've been there before where I've gotten in comparison mode and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
wow, how that I really wanted to do that. How'd they get that? Like, I wish that was me. Instead of that, I flip it and go, if she did it, I can do it too. And
Mhm.
when you're really blessed, and I think your hard work puts you where your blessings can find you, is if you find somebody that has done it and they're willing to share everything that they've learned along the way to get to point A to B. And I think, and I wish that's where more women were today, is if we would just lift each other up, support each other, collaborate with each other,
Yep.
because we need more female speakers on stage. There's
Yep.
enough to go around. We need more females with, best-selling books and top podcasts. I speak at so many events where I'm the only female speaker. In fact, was I? No, I think that I want a
Well,
very
you were one other, there's one other female speaker when I met, yeah, at that event.
Yeah, and I'll tell my husband, he's like, oh, that's great. And I'm like, no, we need more female speakers
Yeah.
and getting paid the same. I love you, fellas. I love
Yep.
you.
Totally agree.
You're amazing. But I think it's time we're right there with you.
Absolutely. Agreed 100%. What would you say? Because I know, we talk a lot about health. What would you say are some non-negotiables for you now? Being sober and dealing with chronic pain every day. What are some non-negotiables to help you through your everyday and your crazy schedule, Amberly? Like you speak a lot, you travel a lot, you're doing a lot of podcasts. Like what is like your grounding to help you stay healthy?
Oh, that's such a good question. And again, this is why I slipped, because I started letting those kind of slip away, and realized if I want to have the life I've always imagined, there are certain things that I need to fulfill and to ground me, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. And so, as much as when I wake up and I want to grab my phone, and I know some people, hit the ground running or hit the wake up and go straight to their laptop, I really can't do that for me mentally,
Yeah.
spiritually. So I get up and I have my prayer, I have my time in the morning. When I didn't do that and I didn't create some space for me to have quiet time to myself, I wasn't as productive throughout the day. I did not spark any creativity or joy. I just started to feel I was on the brink of burnout. And so I start my day with gratitude. I have a group of ladies. We call ourselves the God Squad. And I use an app called My Spiritual Toolkit. You don't have to be sober to use it. I use it because it's easy. It
Hmm.
also has prayers in it. It's got daily readings. So I really like it. I think it's like $11 a month. I'm not quite sure
Okay.
on that.
I
But
love it.
it also counts down my sobriety. So maybe you could put it in there if you've got a goal where you're like, I am going to set today, July 29th is the first day that I stuck to my non-negotiables, and you could do it that way. Just
Yeah.
say And then moving my body. I mean, I'm still in my workout clothes.
Oh yeah. Well, I have pajama bottoms on.
Yeah, I'm still in my workout clothes, and I had a big interview earlier for a speaking gig, and so I have a shirt over here. I was like, okay, take the hat off, put the
Yep.
shirt on, and then
That's what
eating.
I love about you. You keep it real.
Well, do what you got to do. Sometimes I
Yeah.
walk out of my office, and my husband's like, "Who are you?" Like,
Yeah.
because of the way I'm dressed, but also food, like fueling yourself and the proper supplements and going to your doctor's appointments. I am embarrassed to say this, but since we're keeping it real, I will tell you. So the last couple of years have been so packed, and I'm blessed for every opportunity. But I was also in the hospital 6 times
Hmm.
last year.
Yeah.
So this year I was like, okay, time to delegate uh, and dump. Like, what do I not need to be doing anymore? What do I need to delegate? What do you need to say no to? Because
Yep.
every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something, whether
Hmm.
it's yourself, your health, time with your family, whatever that may be. And what I'm embarrassed to say is my whole life I've been to the dentist every 4 to 6 months. My mom worked for an orthodontist growing up. I missed my dentist appointment for 2 years straight, and I went last week. And actually, my dentist is a former client of mine, so it was even more embarrassing. I got to go next week and get 3 fillings. I
Oh
am like,
no.
and it was like, okay, yep, that's on me because I missed my appointment and I didn't reschedule it. And so I'm like, no more of that. A good friend of mine said, your impact is only as strong as you are healthy. Your health is the most important thing. If you're not healthy, you only want one thing. You want to feel healthy. You want
Yeah.
to feel good. You can't enjoy the things that you've worked so hard to enjoy. It's not fulfilling. And so I'm really adamant about taking care of my health. Another reason is, look, I don't always feel like working out. I can't tell you how many times I get in the parking lot and I start scrolling through Instagram, and I have to talk to myself instead of listening to the excuses that I
Hmm.
tell myself. I'm like, talk to myself and go, get your butt in there. You're going to feel better when you're done. You're going to be stronger. You're going to be more confident. And I move my body because I say I get to. There was
Yeah.
so much time, many times, that I couldn't
Hmm.
move. I was completely bedridden
Yeah.
and in and out of the hospital for years, for 6 years, surgery after surgery. And people saw me going into the gym in my wheelchair, in a walker, on crutches, back in a wheelchair, with a limp, finally walking, with a pick line in my arm, with my legs stuck straight. Like, it was nonstop. And so all of that developed my grit, but it was the discipline to keep going and focusing on the vision I had for myself. I was determined to learn to walk again. And I know I've said this and I'll say it again because I want it to stick. It's faith in the small steps. I wasn't focused on running a marathon again. I was focused on just being able to stand up long enough so I
Yep.
could walk on crutches and then walk one step at a time. And so focus on the little things that you can do and celebrate the victories that you've achieved.
Yeah. That is so crucial. And I think you said like you don't know what you lose until you don't have it. And then that's all that's
Exactly.
important. And I preach that. That's like my mission is like I presented to a group of coaches the other day through or Tom Ziegler's group. And that was you can't lead if you're not well. So
Hmm.
take care of your body, take care of your health. Okay. I have a few other questions. What's something fun about you or interesting that many people might not know?
What's something
Like
fun?
fun or interesting that maybe I don't want to say secret, but well, you could tell us a secret.
Well, it's actually it's fun for me, but it annoys my children and probably my husband a little bit. I have this thing where I just love to dance and I can't control it. Where we'll be in the car and I hear a beat and I'm just like, oh, I'm just dancing,
Yep.
man, just going. And Ruby's just like, and we'll turn it off or turn that song off.
Oh, I get that.
Or I'm in Target and man, there's a smooth floor. And I'm like, this is great for pirouettes or chaîné turns or a kickball change. So that's something I love to do. I also, my husband says that I've got two looks. I either look homeless or ready for the stage. And I love being in my comfy clothes, walking barefoot in the grass, being at the barn. I feel like nature heals. It's where I connect to
Mm,
God the most. And
me
so
too.
when I have friends that want to get together, hey, let's get together for lunch. I'm like, well, actually, I'll meet you at the park. Or
Yep.
actually, there's this little trail down the road. I'll meet you there. We can do a walk and talk. Even I had a former client of mine that I hadn't talked to in a while, and she wanted to do a catch up call. And I said, let's do a walk and talk.
Yep. I do that
So
all the time.
yeah,
I
that's fun for me.
Yeah, it's such a great because you're moving with friends, you're outside, you're having connection. It's such a win-win. So we see Amberly dancing somewhat random. Do not be surprised. I'll be attending her retreat in September, so I'm hoping there is a dance party because I love to dance too.
Oh, there's gonna be dancing. You
Oh,
should see
good.
all the fun things. You should see my office right now. I've got all the swag lined
Yay.
up everywhere. I've got a notebook with a list of things. So yeah, I'm excited. I am so excited. And you're already dressed for it. Look, you're in white because we have an
Yes,
all white night.
I know. Can't wait. I did buy a little dress. Okay, finish. I want you to fill in this. Health isn't about blank, it's about blank. So health isn't about blank, but what?
Health isn't about just how you look on the outside.
Yep.
Health is about how matching your inside to your outside.
Yes.
And so when you genuinely feel good and you're sparking joy and you're taking care of your teeth and all the things
All the things.
all the things from the inside out, I really think that that's important, that it's not just the aesthetics of, how you look, but it's really how you feel.
Yeah. That's how I would answer that too. Why we're so aligned. Okay, I have one more question for you before we wrap this up. Because I could talk to you all night. But for those women who are in the just in the throes of depression or they just don't see a way out and they're hopeless, what would you say to those women right now?
I would say first of all, start looking at the people that you are hanging out with. Are they energy vampires? Are they doggy downers? Are they puppy uppers? Meaning, like, are they telling you you can't do it? They're not doing it themselves. You will become. I've heard this. We've all heard it. You start to become like the five people that you hang around the most, and I think that's true. I mean, I grew up around a lot of negativity and a lot of people saying it can't be done, and I use that as motivation. And every time I catch myself being negative, I try to flip the script on that. But I would also say start small. And this sounds kind of funny, or maybe, but I've been in that place where I was hopeless
Mm-hmm.
and it was hard to get out of bed, off the couch, to think that anything was possible. And something as small as taking a shower, washing your hair, and brushing your teeth will give you a fresh start.
Yep.
And the thing is, you get a new day to start over each day. So if you can take these small steps, and I think one of the most courageous things you could do is to reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be somebody that you know, it can be
Mm-hmm.
somebody you have been following on Instagram, it can be a support group, but just make sure it's the right group and don't do it alone. That will change everything. So
Yeah.
start small, get radically honest with yourself, go take a shower, just go
Yeah.
wash your hair. It's going to
Yep.
feel so good. And then, you know what? If you can't get up, there were times when I was in a wheelchair, I would roll myself out until I remember the first time that I got to go outside and feel the sunshine on my face. And I get emotional thinking about this because My goal was I just want to be able to get in a wheelchair and go see my daughter. I just want to be, because I was in ICU, I just want to be able to go in a wheelchair and get outside to feel the sunshine on my face. And I will tell you a funny, true story. I'm outside, and this is, I know you'll get this because you're competitive too. I was so competitive. I was in a wheelchair, PICC line, my leg completely bandaged up, stuck straight, couldn't bend my leg at all. And there's this little old man with a walker outside. And I'm like, that's it. Race is on.
Game on.
Game on. I am racing this guy. I am happy to report that I did win.
Okay, thank goodness. I would have been disappointed if you didn't.
So small goal. That felt good. Little endorphin, little dopamine rush.
A little laughter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and focusing on the good, I promise you, when you focus on the good gets better. And then one last thing I want to encourage you to do is go and do some joy spotting. Now, I know joy comes from within, joy comes from the Lord, but there are ways to focus. It's kind of like when you're pregnant, all you notice is people that are pregnant around you. I remember when I lost my stepdad. I remember, just recently, losing my brother to suicide, losing my granny 2 weeks ago, losing my fur baby, which devastated me as well. I intentionally was like, okay, I need to just feel better. I need to build upon the joy.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go out there and go joy spotting. Number one, I didn't want to be alone. So I went out there, I went to Home Goods. And I wanted to see people and smile at them, complete strangers, and ask them how they were doing. The first thing I see when I walk in is a sign. I bought it, and it says joy. And I thought, okay, that's a God wink.
Yes, it is.
And I just intentionally was on the hunt to find good and do some joy spotting. And so I can maybe give you a link. I have a playbook for how to spark joy.
Yes.
So for those of you who are, you can find it right on my website at amberlylago.com. There's a gratitude journal and a free joy sparker playbook. Those are two things that you can do right now to start a better day tomorrow. And one other thing, if you have questions, this is something new and I'm so excited about. You can go to my website under my podcast and you can literally type any question you want. You can type in, how do I get up off the couch? How do I prevent burnout? How do I become more resilient? How do I find true joy? And I have interviewed leaders, authors, athletes. There's over 300 episodes recorded. You can type in your answer and up will come. Give it a couple seconds. Will come up. Every thought leader, celebrity that I've had on the show that answers the question that you have, it will come up and give you that answer.
Wow, that is incredible. What a gift.
So I wanted to try to provide as much, free information as I could and that people could access. And so I've played with it. It's really fun to see what thought leaders.
Yeah, I'm going to go check that out.
It's fun. It's fun.
Awesome. Okay, well, you can get Amberly's book, Joy Through the Journey. You can find her, say your website again, but I'll type all of this in the comments so people can connect with you too.
Yeah, you can find everything. I'm excited to see Jessica at our retreat. That's we talked about that, and you'll find where you can get on the wait list. This one is completely sold out, but we will be having another one in spring. You can find the podcast, the books, information about everything, freebies, all that fun stuff. Where I'm going to be, if I'm going to be in your town, please come see me. I'd love to see you under the events page. But yes, all of that is at amberlylago.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You were such a gift tonight. I hope whoever's listening tonight found some inspiration. Feel free to share this. Connect with Amberly. You will not regret it. And until next time, please show up for yourself, take care of yourself, and keep it real. All right, well, take care.